Sup guys, King here, bringing you a quick little review on an anime that I just recently watched. Well, technically I watched it all throughout the last night and morning yesterday. And man, am I exhausted after staying up for like God knows how many hours just watching that. So yeah, I pretty much binge watched the entirety of Erased, or Boku, I don't even know what the Japanese name for it is. I apologize in advance again. But yeah, Erased. I have not read the manga for this, obviously, because, you know, I heard it was a mystery series and I wanted to be surprised by it. But yeah, what did I think? Personally, I thought it was a very, very good anime. For something that was like 12 episodes long, they told a very excellent story, a very emotional story, a very drama-filled story. And that's another thing to say, is that this was a very much drama-based focused story than a mystery one, because when it came to the mystery, it was pretty obvious who the killer was. I mean, I think a lot of people predicted it as well, I think, because I've been reading some reviews to see what other people thought, and me as well. Like, I pretty much guessed it right away as well. Just, it was so obvious who the killer was, which doesn't ruin my enjoyment of it. I think the revelation of it when they revealed it was done very, very well, that it just made up for the lack of obviousness to it, if you get what I mean. The build up to it was justified and was done well. The main character himself, Satoru, very emotional, very kind, very sweet. The whole relationship he had with Ko, that was just depressing. I mean, her backstory regarding the abuse that her mom did, it's just, wow, man. I mean, this episode, not the episode, but actually, yeah, episode. Which episode was it? I think it was episode 9, or was it episode 8? When the mother ends up cooking her like a breakfast, and you kind of get these flashbacks of her previous, of how she was treated compared to how she's being treated now by this stranger. And it's like, the feels for that was so strong. And that's what I want to say. This anime was very strong with the feels. Now, obviously, a lot of character. One of the downsides of this series was the fantasy elements and the sort of anticlimactic, disappointing conclusion, and some of the lack of development for certain characters. Now, obviously, the lack of certain developed characters, like Arya, for example. I know, I read that in the manga, she's actually got a bigger role and is responsible for a lot of the key important things that happen for Satoru when he goes, or when he awakens from his coma. So it's a bit upsetting that they didn't end up going in that direction, and they end up changing it a bit around, because I would have liked to have seen that character involved more in the story and getting more development, because as it stands, they are there at the beginning and then they're not anymore. And then of course you've got the whole revive time travel ability, which never gets explained. And I get that sometimes something in a story doesn't need to be explained, and it's just there as this kind of symbolic element or plot point just to push the story forward. But for something that was meant to be, for something that seemed very important in the first few episodes, you'd think it would be used more along for the series, but it wasn't. Only a few times, and after that you never see it used again, and you never get its origins explained. So it's just something that's there, and it's like, it's really annoying to be honest, when you really sit down and think about it, because like, that's something you don't get an answer to. And then the conclusion with Satoru and the killer, like the way that happens, I mean, for the most part it was great. It was great seeing the mind of the killer in the previous episode and how he works. But yeah, like, everything for episodes 1 to 10, in my opinion, was just excellent. Like that whole first like arc, or whatever you want to call it, that was built up very well, developed very nicely, done well. And then the last 2 episodes, in my opinion, just kind of fell very flat. That's not to say that it was emotional. Like episode 11, when you get that twist at the beginning of the episode, that you find out what his mother did for him, that was emotional. And seeing all the characters grown up and still having cared for him, still waiting for him to wake up, that was emotional. And then the whole ending part, just seeing everyone again, that was nice. When it comes to shippers though, like shippings or whatever, yeah, if you call it shippings, yeah, it was upsetting. It was upsetting that Saitaro and Kaya never got together. That was pretty depressing, especially with the fact that she ended up getting together with one of his other friends. That kind of stuff that just hurts all the time. But then you have to keep in mind they were kids, and that kind of relationship doesn't, it doesn't always happen, but at the same time it does. I mean, I know a few people who were children, who were in love when they were kids, and now they're old and they're married now, actually. So that kind of stuff does happen, but it's very, very rare. And I guess if it happened in this series, it would have been too cliche. But it's still kind of sad. But at the same time, it's nice that the character's still there and that they're still friends, even in their adult lives. So that all works out in the end, I guess. And to be fair, the anime did from the very beginning, did set up Ari and Sotaro together. But the disappointing factor of that is that the character of Ari doesn't get a lot of fleshing out or development in the last half. So that's the disappointing part to the conclusion, really. And why the shipping for those two kind of feels flat in a way. And then of course you've got the whole final confrontation with the killer. Again, so obvious who it was, but like I said, the way they revealed it in the previous episode as they built up to it, that was great in my opinion. So it made up for that. But yeah, the anime as a whole, is it great? Is it worth watching? It's worth watching. It's great to watch. I mean, the animation and the artwork is phenomenal. The music is great. The opening song by Asian Kung Fu Generation is so memorable and catchy. The voice acting, I watched the I watched the sub version. So yeah, it's done really well. The characters, at least the characters that do get fleshed out, are with Satoru, Kaio, Kenya, the killer themselves especially, and his mother. They're all great. Some of the characters don't really get the development they deserve, and maybe the series could have used a lot more red herrings. I mean, there are a few red herrings here and there, but in the end of the day, if you're very cautious and smart and keep your eyes open, you'll pretty much be able to guess who the killer is in the very first episode as well. But the way, like I said, the way they slowly actually reveal it and develop it, it's done well, and it's, in the end, the revelation of it and how they built it is justified. So it's good. But this could have been better. It could have been done better, and that's mostly me just saying about how the last 2 episodes were just kind of mellow compared to the first 10. I just wish it was a longer, I guess. Yeah, because I think this could have used an extra few more episodes before it ended in order to expand on that time skip, if you will. But other than that, great series, very emotional, very unexpected in the subject matter that it touches and expands on and talks about. And yeah, just the feels, man, the feels. The feels. But yeah, I can't wait to sit down and read the manga now, just to see how different it is and to see what characters do get fleshed out and how they get fleshed out properly. And yeah, overall, I would recommend this series to any anime going fans, especially those who like a good mystery or good drama and just want something emotional and horrifying and nice at the same time. I don't know if I'm doing it. I don't know if the way I'm saying it is justified for them. I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it justice, but trust me, it's good. It's a good series. Give it a go. Give it a watch if you haven't already seen it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you liked that review. Apologize about my stuttering. I need to really work on that. And like, subscribe as usual, whatever, and I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye.